can allow your hair to grow for like a really long time. Hey guys, so I'm back. Yes sir. Anyway, this video was not planned at all, so I'm literally just going to wing it. Yeah, okay. Anyway guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Ashley, aka Lechi, and that is on Perp. If you're new here, like I said, my name is Ashley, and yeah, I talk about high school stuff, I do vlogs, and I do natural hair and tips in high school. Basically all that will come eventually. So basically in this video I'm gonna talk about how to grow your hair. Yeah, how to grow your natural hair. I did not plan this out. I did not have time to figure out what I was gonna say. Anyway, we'll just wing it because I know everything that I need to know. So like, yeah, if you saw this title and you're trying to grow natural hair, like you don't know what to do, then you've come to the right place. You've already started like your natural hair journey. Honestly, what I say in this video is what works for me and may not be the same for everyone else. So yeah, this is just what I did. And the first thing that I'll talk about is protective styling. Okay, so like protective styling is like braids, wigs. Apparently wigs work really well. I've never worn a wig before. My favorite is braids, yeah. And then like within protective styling, but like I'm sure you've heard this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Like protective styling can like reduce how much time your hands and your hair, and then reduces breakage and stuff like that. And also like it can allow your hair to grow for like a really long time. Like I keep my protective styles in for 8 weeks. So during that 8 weeks, yeah, your hair just flourishes. I don't know, guys. Why is this hard for me? I've done this before. I think it's because I didn't prepare for this video. Yeah, the same one. The second thing is, this is now not really like what you need to do, it's more like what you need and what you need to do. So then one thing I'm gonna talk about is shampoo and conditioner. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is shampoo. Like try to stay away from sulfates, but apparently I'm seeing it now that sulfates aren't necessarily bad. Like they are kind of bad in terms of the fact that they strip your hair, but they're not in terms of the fact that don't use them at all. Because some people might use very, very thick oils. For example, I use a lot of thick oils, but that's because I have high porosity hair. But for some people it could be like you have really, really thick oils, or your hair naturally produces thick oils, so you have to use sulfates. Honestly, it really just depends on you, but if you have high porosity hair, I honestly would not recommend sulfates. But yeah, honestly, washing your hair as much as you can, especially after protective styling, it's kind of very, very important because like it unblocks your pores and it keeps your scalp healthy. Yeah, basically. And then next thing I'm going to talk about is conditioner, mostly deep conditioner. When I tell you, if you do not have a deep conditioner in your life, you don't know what you're doing. But what I will definitely say is, especially for me, because I'm based in Zimbabwe, deep conditioners are very expensive here. I think maybe they're expensive everywhere you go, because that's just how good they are. And also like the longer your hair is, the more deep conditioner you use. But honestly, you don't have to use deep conditioner. Like at the beginning, I wasn't using deep conditioner, honestly. Otherwise, deep conditioner is very, very important because it rejuvenates your hair, it moisturizes your hair, and yeah, it kind of like, I don't know, it's just so good for your hair. Because like when I started using deep conditioner, my hair just started flourishing. So deep conditioner is like basically really good for your hair. Yeah. And then another thing I'll talk about is leave-in conditioner. Now, when I say leave-in conditioner, I am not talking about the bottle that is written leave-in conditioner. Honestly, whatever leaves your hair moisturized, whether it's shea butter, whether it's moisturizing gel. Like, I will tell you all of these things. Something called leave-in conditioner, I did not know what that was, but I still flourished, well, for a certain period of time. But like, yeah, leave-in conditioner basically is anything that leaves your hair moisturized, whether it's aloe vera juice, whether it's oil, whether it's butter, whether it's moisturizing gel, anything that does not contain petroleum or mineral oil that leaves your hair moisturized. But that's another thing that I'm going to talk about later. But yeah, basically leave-in conditioner is really good for your hair because like it prevents your hair from drying out throughout the day, especially if you're wearing your hair out. And yeah, so I think right now I'm now going to talk about your petroleum and your mineral oil. Now, honestly, in the natural hair community, people are so against certain ingredients, and then few ingredients that are mostly attacked are sulfates, petrolatum, and mineral oil. But honestly, I will not lie, most of the time those ingredients can be bad for you, most of the time. But I will say this, I have used all 3 ingredients. I think everyone has all used 3 ingredients, right? I think it's just a matter of knowing how to use them correctly. And parabens, but parabens is probably the only one that I'll agree with in terms of saying that is bad for your hair, because I can 100% relate. Parabens are bad. Now, I'll talk, that is what I agreed on, that's what I agreed to. Yeah, my English guy is dying, sorry. But like, yeah, otherwise, sulfates, for me personally, sulfates don't work for me because I am high porosity hair. But petrolatum and mineral oil, because I have high porosity hair. Mineral oil, I'm not sure. Mineral oil, I guess mineral oil does work for me. Yeah, I think mineral oil is okay for me. But so I'll talk about both petrolatum and mineral oil. For me, they work really well for me. Like that whole concept of it blocking your pores doesn't apply to me because I personally have a very, very dry scalp, and like I said, high porosity hair needs a lot of thick oils. So honestly, mineral oil works really well for me. I think it's just a matter of not using it too much and making sure that you wash it out of your hair. Then again, if you want to wash that out of your hair because it's very, very thick, sulfates is your best friend. Honestly, it just depends on the type of hair that you have. But if you're a high porosity hair, mineral oils and petroleum are your best friend. Well, for me personally. And then now I'm going to talk about DIY treatments. Y'all, when I found out about those, I abused them. DIY treatments, they changed my life. So like DIY treatments, so if you don't know what those are, you should, but then again, that's why you're watching this video. DIY treatments, DIY means do it yourself, so basically like your homemade treatments. My favorite ones are the protein treatment, which consists of avocado. The main ingredients are avocado, eggs, aloe vera if you want to. I use 1 egg, and then you can add other oils, other ingredients. I use whatever oil that's there. The one that I used to use was olive oil. Olive oil does not work for me, but whatever oil that you have, really, yeah. And then another one is rice water. I like rice water because it's very short and simple. Literally just putting rice in water, leaving it for a few days, and then you're done. And then another one that I did, I know I did something else. I don't know. I did a bunch of other things. I have done more than just these 2. Anyway, I guess aloe vera juice. Yeah. Honey is also another thing that you can use. Yeah, honey really works well for me because honey like takes moisture from the atmosphere and puts it, like, your hair absorbs it easier if you use honey in your hair. So yeah, I've spoken about your DIY treatments. Basically, DIY treatments are kind of great because they're a way, they're kind of like a pathway for you to add more important ingredients to your hair that you might not be able to find in your deep conditioner and your leave-in conditioner. Honestly, it depends on what's really affordable for you. But honestly, if you can afford to buy those things, whichever is cheaper for you. But I personally like DIY treatments because like there are just a lot of ingredients that just come into your hair for free that you won't be able to find in your everyday products. So probably the last and most important thing that I'll talk about, no, it's not the last and it's not the most important, it's the second from last. So I'll talk about detangling. I mentioned it before. So detangling is very, very important, and you need to be very, very fragile with detangling. Like, you can keep your protective towel in for 8 weeks. Honestly, the longer that you keep it in, the more dangerous it is, because the knots and the build-up will just be crazy. But you can keep your natural hair, you can keep your protective towel in for as long as however. But when I tell you, you have to be very, very careful when you're taking out that protective towel, especially when you're dealing with braids. Like, honestly, what you can do is that, like, you can take something creamy like your leave-in conditioner and then apply it to your knot and then pick it out with your hands, and be very, very fragile and take your time. Like, when you're taking out your braids, put a movie or something. Do not just do it so quickly in a rush. Like, if you don't have time, take out your braids another time. You have to be very, very patient with yourself, because what's the point of letting your hair grow for 8 weeks if it's just gonna break off because you're not being careful when taking out your protective towel? So you have to be very, very careful. And also, when you're detangling, like, the detangling process after taking out your protective towel is the most important process, because that's the time that determines, because that's when you can tell the difference between shed hair and the remainder of your hair that's like actually there, that's left and that is actually grown. And honestly, shed hair, it increases the longer your hair is. So if you have a very, very big bunch, bigger than before, don't be worried, don't be scared. That's 100% normal. Anything that can add slip to your hair so that you can comb your hair through, and make sure that you're using a wide tooth comb or a tangle teaser if you have one, and start from the tips of your hair working upwards to your roots all the way through. Yeah. And then maybe detangle it twice during your washing period. Yeah, that will definitely help you. And then I do want to talk about your oils and your butter. That was not the last thing. Your oils and your butter, yeah, those are important. I can't really talk that much on oils and butter because I still haven't found the one that works really, really well for me. That is very, very important because it prevents like your hair, like the moisture getting out of your hair. I used olive oil for a long time, did not work for me. I'm still trying to find the one that works really well for me. But honestly, I honestly believe that you should just try any kind of oil that you can get your hands on until you find the one that works for you. I'm still gonna try out shea butter. I haven't tried that one out yet. When I used it, it worked. When I used it the first time, it worked really well for me. But I haven't used it for a long time. But shea butter is also another really, really nice butter that you can use for your hair as well. And it's really good for your wash days. Like, just apply it to your hair while it's still kind of damp, and then you wake up the next morning and your hair is completely moisturized. So yeah. And then, like, I used to believe the concept that adding oils to your hair makes your hair grow. Honestly, your hair is always growing. It's just a matter of how you take care of it. And then last but definitely not least, and the most important, is you have to be very, very patient with yourself. Honestly, everyone's natural hair journey is completely different. Like, you can look at one person right now who's got their hair up to like here, and then they would have struggled just as much as you are struggling right now for them to get to that point, for them to figure out what really works for their hair. Honestly, it's just a matter of you finding out what works for your hair. And basically everything that I've mentioned previously is kind of like what you would need for you to get to where you want to be in terms of your natural hair, honestly. But really, you don't have to follow every single thing that I've mentioned. This is just what has worked for me, and you just have to find out what works for you. But I hope this has helped you. I hope I've mentioned something that you probably didn't know before. And yeah, let's all grow our hair, y'all, to be as long as Rapunzel's, if you may. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you could actually get them. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, y'all, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, please remember to like the video. Please comment if I left anything out or if this has helped you. And please hit the subscribe button, that big red nice button. It's nice and red. Don't you just want to tap on it? Anyway, yeah, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will definitely, I know you'll come back, I know you love me, I know you'll come back, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Yo, can somebody give me a high five? I actually made it. Anyway, yo, bye guys.